Hello friends, today we are going to continue chapter number 1 Heritage of India, Social Science, lecture number 6. Today we are going to cover the topics Cultural Heritage of Gujarat and Conservation and Preservation of Heritage. Now moving forwards, in the previous lecture we discussed about the land and the people that came to India from different countries, how they Indianized themselves, how they accepted our Indian culture. And now moving towards the last part of this chapter, that is the cultural heritage of Gujarat and the conservation and preservation of heritage. First, let us go through cultural heritage of Gujarat. As we discussed in the previous part of this chapter, that cultural heritage of India is very important for the entire country. Our ancestors have preserved that, and now it becomes our duty to preserve this heritage. Same way, if we look in the context of Gujarat, again, Gujarat is also gifted with lots of precious and rich and varied heritage. Here it is said many places having cultural legendary and archaeological importance are included in it. So which things are included in the cultural heritage of Gujarat? It is said the places that is having cultural importance, that are considered as legendary, and they are important according to the archaeological sites. These all are included in this cultural heritage of Gujarat. Places like Lothal, Rangpur, Dholavira, etc. These are important places in Gujarat according to the archaeological importance. Same way, the Sun Temple of Modhera in Mehsana district, then Gate of Champaner, that is in Pavagadh, then Rudra Mahalay of Sitpur, Mansar Lake of Viramgam, Jama Masjid of Ahmedabad, Julta Minara of Ahmedabad, etc. These all places are also very important according to the cultural heritage of Gujarat. When lots of foreigners come into Gujarat, they like to visit such kind of places over here, because these all places have the cultural importance. This shows the culture of Gujarat. Then the places with religious importance in Gujarat, also there are many places that are religiously important, like places with religious importance like Dwarkadish temple, that is in Dwarka, Somnath temple, that is considered as one of the important temple among the 12 Jyotirlings, then Ambaji temple, then Bahucharaji temple, Dako temple, etc. There are such kind of temples that are very important according to the religious basis in Hindu culture. They are having the major importance in our cultural heritage as well. Tourist oriented places. As we all know, there are lots of places in Gujarat where the tourists from different states, different countries, they come here to visit such places. Lots of tourist oriented places are there, like the Polo Forest of Gujarat, Kite Festival, Kakaria Carnival that is held in Ahmedabad, Tanariri Festival, Ranotsav of Kutch. Such kind of tourist oriented places are considered over here. This shows the importance of the cultural heritage of Gujarat in each and every aspects. Now moving towards the last topic, that is the conservation and preservation of heritage. Conservation and preservation of heritage. As we discussed in the previous topics, that it becomes important for each and every citizen to preserve this heritage. Already our ancestors, they have completed their duty, they have fulfilled their duty to preserve this heritage. They preserved this, they protected this, and now they have gifted this to the future generation. Now it is the duty of this future generation to protect and preserve this heritage. It is the responsibility of the government, it is the responsibility of each and every citizen of India to preserve this rich heritage. We discussed in the previous part of this chapter that it is very important for the country to preserve this heritage. And that is why even the government of India, they have taken certain steps to protect and preserve this heritage. Let us look towards the conservation and preservation of heritage. India attained a leading position in the world by keeping its rich heritage protected and preserved. If we look at the present time, our heritage has given India a prestigious place among the world by protecting and preserving our cultural heritage. So it is said we are at the leading position in the world by preserving our cultural heritage. Now it is the duty of the present generation to preserve it. Yes, it is obvious that, as I said previously, that the previous generation, our ancestors, our grandparents, they have already completed their duty. They have preserved this heritage. Now it becomes the moral duty of the present generation to preserve this duty and pass it to the future generation to protect and preserve this heritage. To protect and preserve our heritage, it is given place in the Article 51C of our Constitution in our fundamental duty. Here it is said, understanding the importance of this heritage, even our government has given place in our Constitution to preserve this heritage. Our Indian Constitution has stated certain duties, fundamental duties to each and every citizen of India. When Indian government even gave these fundamental duties in Article 51C, it is clearly stated to preserve and conserve this heritage. There are given certain points, certain duties for each and every citizen to fulfill his duty to conserve and preserve this heritage. Let us see which duties are included in Article 51C as a fundamental duties of each and every citizen of India. It states that first, to understand the importance of culture and preserve it. First of all, it is the duty of each and every citizen to understand the importance of this cultural heritage and to preserve it. Yes, it is obvious. If we do not have importance of that particular thing, we will not be able to preserve it. We will only be alert and aware to preserve only when it is important for us. When we understand its importance, then only we will be ready to preserve it. So it becomes our duty first of all to understand its importance and preserve it. Secondly, it is said to maintain the natural environment by maintaining forests, rivers, ponds, etc. Again, it is the duty of each and every citizen to maintain the natural environment, to keep our surroundings clean, to reduce the pollution in our country, to keep the forest, rivers, ponds clean, to increase more and more afforestation. This creates the positive effect on the environment. So it becomes the duty of each and every citizen to conserve and preserve the environment as well. Thirdly, preserve wildlife and maintain compassion for all living beings. It is the duty of each and every citizen of India, as well as it is an important part of our culture that we learned in the previous part, that we should have compassion towards all living creatures. Now it has become even our duty, as it is included in Article 51C, that we should have compassion towards all living creatures and we should protect wildlife. And that is why our government has also put ban on the hunting of the animals. This shows the importance of animals in our culture. Fourthly, it is said that to protect public property. As we all know that public property, whatever the government has made it, that is all for the utilization of each and every citizen of India. So now, again, it is our duty that we protect this public property. Normally we see, whenever there is any riots in our country. We see lots of people damaging this public property. So again, it is against the law. It becomes our moral duty. We should understand that these public property that are made for our benefit, and to benefit ourselves, we should protect this public property. Lastly, to be non-violent, as it is a very important part of our culture. It is said that the important part of our culture to be non-violent. We always believe in non-violence and peace, and this is the important part. This is also given place in our fundamental duty that we should remain non-violent towards all mankind, towards all living creatures. We should have the feeling of mercy and compassion. It is the primary and moral duty of every Indian to follow these duties. So lastly, it is said to conclude that it is the primary, means the first and the moral duty of each and every citizen of India to follow these duties. It becomes essential for every citizen to follow this duty. So by these all things we can understand the cultural importance of our country, and we can understand the importance of cultural and natural heritage that is present in our country, and how much this heritage is important for our country.